Imagine facing any challenge, stress, conflict, uncertainty, with absolute calm. The ancient Stoics mastered this, turning obstacles into wisdom. In this video, you'll discover 7 Stoic principles that will help you stay composed, no matter what life throws at you. Let's dive into the timeless philosophy of resilience and inner peace. True strength lies in mastering the mind, and the foundation of this mastery is the ability to remain calm in any situation. External events will always be unpredictable, but our response to them is within our control. This is what the Stoics understood deeply. Our peace is not dictated by circumstances, but by our perspective and choices. First, the key to mental stability is understanding the dichotomy of control. There are things within our power and things beyond it. Most stress and frustration arise when we resist this truth, trying to control outcomes that are simply not ours to dictate. You cannot control the weather, the economy, the actions of others, or even the thoughts they hold about you. Yet people waste immense energy worrying, complaining, and resisting these uncontrollable forces. This is futile. The Stoics teach that true power comes from focusing only on what is within our grasp, our thoughts, our actions, our character. When you redirect your energy away from things you cannot change and toward what you can, anxiety dissipates and clarity emerges. Instead of resenting a difficult boss, you refine your patience. Instead of fearing public opinion, you act with integrity. Instead of dreading a possible failure, you prepare to the best of your ability and accept whatever outcome follows. This shift in focus is the first and most fundamental step toward inner peace. Once we accept what we cannot control, we must develop the skill of emotional detachment. Many believe that emotions are forces beyond control, but the Stoics knew otherwise. Emotions are reactions, and reactions can be mastered. Consider anger. It is not the insult or the offense itself that causes anger, but our interpretation of it. If someone insults you in a language you do not understand, does it provoke rage? No, because the words hold no meaning to you. This reveals a crucial truth. It is not events that disturb us, but our perception of them. If you train yourself to pause before reacting, to analyze rather than obey the impulse, you create distance between stimulus and response. In that space lies freedom. A disciplined mind does not suppress emotions, but observes them without submission. It questions them. Is this anger justified? Is it useful? What alternative reaction would serve me better? Over time, this practice strengthens resilience, allowing you to move through life untouched by the storms of impulse and irrationality. With emotional detachment comes the ability to reframe adversity. Most people view obstacles as misfortunes, but the Stoic mindset sees them as opportunities. There is no growth without challenge, no wisdom without hardship. Marcus Aurelius stated, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not mere philosophy. It is a practical approach to life. If you face financial struggles, they teach you resourcefulness. If you experience rejection, it refines your persistence. If you suffer loss, it deepens your capacity for gratitude. Every difficulty carries a hidden lesson, but only those who choose to see it will benefit. This mindset is the difference between those who are crushed by adversity and those who rise because of it. When you cease to see hardships as roadblocks and instead as paths to growth, nothing can truly harm you. However, the ability to endure hardship requires the practice of voluntary discomfort. Modern society has conditioned people to avoid all forms of discomfort, yet nothing weakens the mind more than excessive comfort. The Stoics understood that resilience is not built in ease but in deliberate challenge. Seneca practiced sleeping on the floor despite his wealth, reminding himself that comfort is not a necessity but a luxury. Why? Because the more you expose yourself to discomfort, the less power it holds over you. Fast intentionally to understand hunger. Wake up early to discipline the body. Take cold showers to develop mental toughness. If you willingly endure difficulty in controlled conditions, you will not crumble when life inevitably presents real challenges. Those who seek only comfort find themselves fragile, but those who embrace hardship on their own terms develop an unshakable core. A mind trained in hardship is a mind that remains steady in any storm. While external hardship is inevitable, unnecessary suffering comes from attachment. People cling to possessions, relationships, and expectations as if their happiness depends on them, yet all these things are temporary. The Stoics practiced detachment, not in the sense of indifference, but in the recognition that everything we have can be lost. Epictetus taught that when you kiss your child goodnight, remind yourself that they are mortal. This is not pessimism, it is awareness. When you acknowledge that nothing is truly yours to keep, you cherish what you have without fear of losing it. This mindset applies to all things. If your wealth is lost, you do not despair, for wealth was never your true possession. If a friend betrays you, you do not crumble, for their loyalty was never guaranteed. If you fail at a goal, you do not lose your sense of worth, for success was never what defined you. To live without attachment is to live without fear, and fear is the root of most suffering. Detachment also extends to opinions, the opinions of others, and even our own unchecked assumptions. People waste years seeking approval, fearing criticism, shaping their actions based on what others might think. But external opinions are outside your control. Whether they praise you or condemn you, it changes nothing about who you are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." If someone insults you, it does not change your character. If they admire you, it does not add to your worth. Therefore, to be disturbed by praise or criticism is irrational. Similarly, even our own thoughts should not be blindly trusted. Just because you think something does not mean it is true. Challenge your assumptions. Question your fears. Observe your mind as an impartial spectator. In doing so, you free yourself from both external judgments and internal illusions. True calmness, however, requires one final element: presence. Most mental suffering is not rooted in reality but in time. Regret is a fixation on the past. Anxiety is a fixation on the future. But the past cannot be changed and the future does not yet exist. So why suffer over what is beyond reach? The Stoics emphasized the power of now. What is happening at this moment? Is it truly unbearable, or is your mind making it so? If you focus entirely on the present, you strip away imagined suffering. A difficult task becomes just the next step. A stressful conversation becomes just the words being exchanged. A moment of hardship is just that, a moment, not a lifetime. By anchoring yourself in the present, you dissolve unnecessary worry and engage fully with life as it unfolds. When you integrate these principles into daily practice, calmness ceases to be an effort. It becomes your natural state. By recognizing what you can and cannot control, you free yourself from unnecessary burdens. By mastering emotional detachment, you prevent impulsive reactions. By reframing adversity, you turn every hardship into an opportunity. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you build resilience against future challenges. By embracing detachment, you eliminate the fear of loss. By disregarding external opinions and internal illusions, you liberate your mind. And by living fully in the present, you remove self-imposed suffering. Each of these elements reinforces the others, creating a foundation of unshakable tranquility. The world does not determine your peace, your mind does. Every day presents a choice: react impulsively or respond with wisdom. Be controlled by emotions or govern them. Fear loss or embrace impermanence. Resist reality or flow with it. The Stoics knew that the highest form of power is not over others, but over oneself. Master your mind and you master your life. There is no greater freedom than this.